not college hockey West anymore. This is professional hockey. This is the Pro Hockey West Report. Scott Strandy with you. I am going in behind the scenes and in front of the glass, if you will, at Acrisure Arena. I've got Jason Hernandez with me, the PA guy, the voice that you hear at every time you're in this building. So, Jason, tell me about your setup. You told me a little bit, and I've got the clip on that, so you don't need to go into detail, but tell me how nice it is to get in here every game night.
It's exciting for me. I have to have everything set up in a particular way. But overall, the excitement of a game, the excitement of wondering what's going to happen, who's going to win, how many goals are going to get scored, what unexpected things might happen. It's all fun for me, and it all gives me a thrill as my energy builds up towards the game. Because before a game, I'm usually pretty calm, pretty zen. But once the clock gets closer to zero, that energy builds up, and I get more and more excited as we go on.
How did you get started in this?
I got started in public address maybe 8-9 years ago. As far as working in hockey, I began 15 years ago with the Ontario Reign.
That's a swear word around here.
Yeah, I know. But there was no Firebirds at the time. But you have to start somewhere.
Right.
And I started upstairs doing the stats as an off-ice official, did that for a number of years. Eventually did public address for not hockey first. I did public address first for college football. I did it at Valley College in San Bernardino, and I graduated to doing more football games, became their permanent announcer, have done basketball games, volleyball games. So I've done a slew of sports over there. I also did a couple of color commentary games for Claremont Colleges back in the day. So this is going way, way back. Let's see, I've also done the public address announcing for indoor soccer at Toyota Arena at Ontario. So I've done my PA over there. And then I saw the Firebirds gig come up, and I was all over that right away. And I was fortunate enough to become the permanent voice of the Firebirds. And here we are, 2.5 seasons in, and I am having an absolute blast.
All right, before we dig into what you do, tell me about the voice. Your voice has just PA written it all over it. Do you do anything different, or is that just Jason Hernandez's voice?
That's just me. Maybe slightly different, maybe a slightly different register, but it is mostly just me. The voice that you hear right now is the voice that you will hear when I do my reads, when I do my sponsor reads. It's mostly the same.
Just a few decibels louder. All right, we'll get into what this is all. Folks,
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. All right, now let's test this. Test. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me upstairs? Perfect. Everything works. Thank you. It's a little something I got from Mama Bird, one of our most loyal fans, and she gave me this a couple seasons ago, and it's been good luck. And every game I do this for good luck is I put her little ornament right there next to one of the, or on top of the water. That's one I know is my last water to use. But the setup is generally the same. I get my rosters, go through my PA script, which I'm going to go through momentarily. So I write all my stuff down there. I have my handy-dandy score sheet ready to go, a blank score sheet for now, hopefully filled with Firebirds goals later. But all my goals, assists, penalties, shots, all that stuff goes on here. And also, before the games, I make sure I have my rosters and the goal numbers on there. That way, when I say, for example, Firebirds goal scored by John Hayden, his 8th of the season, have all that info on here as well. So I have to make sure I have that. We have our shot sheet that we typically have. We have a pregame meeting at approximately 5-ish, and we will go over everything from the pregame to the in-game reads to the intermission reads. Everything that is said on there, we go down the line and go through it. So it's very well prepared. It is controlled chaos because obviously sometimes the game can go astray, or sometimes it could be 6 minutes between whistles and I don't get to say anything. So we have everything prepared, prepared by our wonderful crew here. Shout out to Ron and Brittany. So I have that up here. I have my current roster on here, including tonight's officials, which are Jordan Watt, Philip Casco, Brett Martin, Michael McBain. So I have to make sure I have all of that information on there. And the most important thing, my PA script, which has my name on it today. So I have a special script. Goes down the rundown of everything from pre-warm-ups to warm-ups to all my pre-game reads and the puck drop and all my in-game reads. We have a couple of special ones today. So I'm very excited about a couple of these special reads during the first period timeouts. So I am excited about that. So we have all of that set up. Let's see, I have all my pens right here. I'm very particular about my pens because I think every announcer is particular about their pens. And I have my gel pens right here. So I have everything set up very neatly. And I wouldn't be an announcer if I didn't have cough drops, just in case. And today's cough drops are Fisherman's Friend, which are very strong.
There's our sponsor for today.
Yep. And also because you're going to hear noise there, I have a little electrolyte drink mix just in case I need that little kick later on. So I usually put that right next to one of the bottles of water as well. So everything's set up the same. And today I'm actually wearing my PA jersey. I've worn this for the last few games. The Firebirds are on a winning streak right now, and I've worn this jersey, and I haven't deviated from that since they last lost. So this is the good luck jersey for right now.
Let's see the back of that.
Well, nice little touch. It says PA instead of A or C. So I got a PA patch. And the back of it has my last name of Hernandez.
I love it.
So nice little red alert jersey there.
All right, so everybody's asking right now. They're saying, Jason, you wash that thing.
Not yet.
Okay.
No, but everything else, like all the suits I wear, I usually have some kind of flashy suit if we're on a winning streak. Right. Last season, I had a very flashy red jacket that I wore.
I remember seeing that one multiple times.
10 consecutive games last year that I wore that jacket. I had to wash it after that 10th time. So to answer your question, yes, I do wash them. Not during a streak.
Can't do that.
No, that's not great luck.
All right, so here we are just a few minutes before, well, a little bit longer than that. But as you get ready for pregame warm-ups, what's the key to pregame warm-ups? What do you do? What do you like to do to fire the guys up when they come out of the tunnel?
Well, first off, I'm pretty zen before a game, and then I build up my energy as we go on. And to get them warmed up, I just like to get that growly voice right off the top, say Firebirds as loud as possible. And I like to vibe with whatever music is playing. And some of the guys, they skate over. I've noticed the last couple of games that Nike Coco, he catches me vibing to the music. There's a particular song that he likes that I really love. So he'll see me doing this. He'll kind of glance over like, all right. And I noticed a couple players doing that as well. Like, all right. So nothing super special, but I like to vibe and sometimes get a little like, yeah, we're good to go.
So does the PA guy get to pick out the music, or is that preset by somebody else?
That is preset by our director, Ron Gata.
Yep.
And our DJ Beneficial, is they go over the music and all the music hits and all the music cues before the game. And they talk about it during the game. Maybe once every couple of games, I'll throw in a, hey, maybe do this song just for the heck of it. Just because I like to have a little bit of fun.
Okay, so let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. It's time for face-off, time for introductions.
All right.
I stand down there. I see what happens. I love seeing the guys come out of the tunnel. I like to see the pyrotechnics that go on. So what gets you jacked up just before face-off?
I think just the excitement of the game, the excitement of seeing the pyrotechnics, the excitement of seeing the players coming out, the excitement of getting the crowd into it as well. And once in a while, if a player comes back, I give a little bit of extra juice. The game that Max McCormick gave back, I gave him a little bit of an extra oomph, a little bit of a more special introduction for him, a little bit louder, and the crowd ate it up. They gave him a nice ovation, nice applause, and a nickname that's kind of stuck, El Capitan. Little backstory. That actually started last year on Dia de los Muertos.
Okay.
This was the first time that I did a bilingual call, which isn't really done that often in professional sports, but I did both the English and Spanish goal calls, penalty calls.
Nice.
And he was starting, so I said, you know what? I'm going to say, instead of the captain, say El Capitan. He had a great game that night. And I think it really stuck in last year's Calder Cup final game 3, where Max McCormick had a hat trick in game 3. And as the game is going on, Ron is saying, yeah, let's give him the El Capitan treatment. And it has stuck. It's stuck ever since.
I love how that works. It's kind of a cool thing when you come up with something, you just throw it out there, and all of a sudden it's stuck for good, right?
It happens so organically out of nowhere. And I think that's the best part of some of the things that we have at this arena. It all happens organically. The 1 minute thank you call, that kind of grew after the first couple of games. The Hughes call the first 2 seasons. This season, I've been trying to look at some of the names in particular. For example, this season, one name that I like to draw out is Nicholas Brouillard to try to get some crowd participation. And I like that. I love getting the fans into it. I like crowd participation. And it's fun for me. It's enjoyable for me, but it's enjoyable for the player. The crowd loves it. So it's just getting that whole crowd feeling together, as if it's not just me, but it's all thousands of people in here coming together and having the little banter.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you did something different this year. Just a couple of weeks ago, you had college hockey in here.
Yes.
How much different was that for you? Because it's not quite the same in crowd size and all of that, but it's still a game, right? And I heard you. I was here. I heard you doing your thing right through it. Is it difficult when there's fewer people?
Not at all, because there was enough of a fan base behind me for the games that I did. The Uno fans, which is Nebraska Omaha,
right?
Their fans were loud and passionate, and I felt good after that game. The championship game, we had a whole section behind me of Omaha Mavericks fans.
Right.
On the other side, a ton of UMass Lowell Riverhawks fans. So I decided early on, let's have some fun with this. Let's get some banter between both fan bases. So I would say Mavericks fans, Riverhawks fans, and just get them cheering against each other. And no matter the crowd, you want to have some kind of connect with them and get them going. And it doesn't matter.
You have another connection, though. This Fuego guy gets around, and he kind of feeds off of you as well, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. I do notice a little bit more this season than last season, is he will kind of go like this when I'm talking, tell me to stop. Or Fuego likes to scare me a little bit. The fans in sections 120 and 121 have seen this, where Fuego likes to bang the glass and try to scare me. He's done it a few times. So there's a little bit of back and forth banter between Fuego and I. The Fuego introduction, I love to draw that one out too and get him out here with the best kind of energy possible.
All right, so the game goes on, and we're headed towards overtime, that dreaded overtime. What goes through your head? Are you excited that you're going to see 3-on-3 overtime, or would you rather just think end in regulation?
My thought process is, here we go again, more overtime. And then, okay, let's really get this crowd going and try to end it early in overtime, as we had on a recent game against the San Diego Gulls. That one ended after a penalty call and a nice power play goal. That one was fun. The Yanni Newman goal, where he looked like a kid out of a candy store. He was smiling from ear to ear. Those are the kind of calls I like to make, is to try to really draw out the game-winning goal wins. And I think that's in my mind as well, is, okay, who's going to score the game-winning goal? How long am I going to draw this out? Just little things that I'm constantly thinking about as the game goes on. As I think about the stars of the game, the goal calls, all of that is clear in my mind as the game goes on.
Okay, the dreaded shootout comes up. How is that for a PA guy? Do you like a shootout, or would you like, I'd rather this thing ended in regulation or overtime?
I would rather it end in regulation and overtime. That way I can get the goal call in.
Right.
Because the shootout, you have to be a little bit calmer on both sides. You can't have a long call as the player is coming towards the puck. So that one, you kind of have to be somewhat more subdued. Unfortunately, but that's just the way it goes,
Okay,
They're
so
fun.
so now we're in your space right here, and next to you are the penalty boxes.
Yep.
Give us something that's happened in a penalty box that you're going like, oh man, I didn't think this was going to happen.
I've definitely heard some good chirps in here over the past 2.5 seasons. I won't say which players, but there's been a couple of players who are no longer Firebirds that have definitely surprised me when they're in the box. Or after a particularly good fight, they will give the, hey, bud, hey, that was a good fight. They'll do that.
Yeah.
Or if they don't like each other, then I will hear a ton of F-bombs, a ton of cursing left and right. I hear it all between both boxes. And I kind of have to cover my mouth if they say something really spicy, and I have to go, oh, man. It's a little bit much.
Okay, so you're in this box. Nobody's closer to the ice surface than you are, including maybe the coaches and players. You're just like a plexiglass sheet away. So the game's going on. It's fast. It's furious. It's smashed up against you.
Yep.
What's the part that you enjoy the most about the game itself?
That's a good question. I think the entirety of it, I do love the big hits. I love seeing and hearing and feeling the big hits coming right towards me, especially if you have a heavy hitter like an Ian McKinnon. Max McCormick gets some good hits in there as well. So having those players up close and personal lay out a good body check and just laying a player down. Or if I see a good shot, Ian McKinnon had a surprising goal and I had a perfect angle of it. And my thought process was, where's that been all season? Shoot that more.
Right?
And sometimes you could see some particularly good goals as they develop. And I think that's great for me as well, as seeing it develop. Here's a good pass. Here's a good shot. All of that is good. So I don't think there's one particular aspect, but just all of it in general is what I enjoy.
Okay, so the players know you're here, right?
Yep.
They come by this glass. Is anybody in particular said, hey, there's Jason in there. I think I may give him a wake-up call.
Once or twice. Once or twice I've had a good wake-up call, and I'll have a player just look in here like, okay, I'm good. I'm awake.
Good stuff. All right, so the All-Star game coming up, and we'll kind of end it on this. How excited are you for not only the Valley, Coachella Valley, to host an All-Star game, but you're going to be the voice of it. You're going to be right here in front of it. I know while we were having lunch and we were talking about just how exciting that is, but what's the best part of an All-Star game to you?
Seeing all the talent come together, seeing NHL caliber talent on the ice. Because usually half the guys that make an all-star team in the American Hockey League, they will wind up at some point in the big show. And we've seen it year in and year out, where a player that makes the all-star game, they'll be on an NHL roster either later that season or next season even. So I think seeing the definite future of the NHL is a big deal for me and something I am always excited about. This year in particular, there's a ton of NHL caliber talent. So I'm excited to see all of that on one sheet of ice.
All right, I'm going to end it on this one because this might be peeling back the onion a little bit, but you're a big Seattle fan too. I know that. And I go places and all of a sudden I'll get a message on my Twitter or my X account. I'm like, hey, are you in the building? And I'll send one back like, yeah, I'm here.
Yep.
And you're there as well. So it's one of those things, when hockey gets in your blood, man, it's in your blood, is it not?
Absolutely. I've been working in hockey for 15 years now. And it is absolutely in my blood. I try to go to as many barns as possible. And it's fun for me. It's fun just taking in the ambiance, taking in everything that a hockey game has to offer, whether you're home or on the road. Seeing the hard hits, it's always fun. Interacting with the fans, it's always fun. Seeing an exciting goal or a mind-blowing save, all of it is fun. And I love seeing the big crowds that we get here.
Jason Hernandez, thanks so much for spending some time with us and showing me this beautiful setup you have here. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely exciting. And one more for the fans. Firebirds goal!